2025-317-NA. If I can have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please, starting with Mr. Sommerfeld.
Thank you, Judge. Don Sommerfeld for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Larry Brown on behalf of respondent father Jesse Kent.
Donna Hansel on behalf of the minor children.
David Delaney, counsel for mother Serena Weber. She is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Let's see. What do we have from the department? I see Mr. Lawrence. I see Michaela Kirchhoff. Ms. Kirchhoff, are you here on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, thank you very much. Looks like we have everybody. Mr. Brown, is your client, Mr. Kent, going to be here?
He is not, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Lawrence did send me a phone number for him. I attempted to call. A young lady answered, said that a lot of people have called trying to reach him, and that is not his number.
All right. And then do we have anything from the non-respondent father, Mr. Weber, who has Logan with him? All right, I'm not hearing anything. All right. We'll get started then. I do have a copy of the Wellspring Court Report for today's hearing. It's signed by Ms. Kirchhoff. Is there any other documentation I should have, Mr. Sommerfeld?
No, that's all that I have, Judge. I know today was set for a pretrial for mom, but at the last court hearing, the court specifically said, hey, I'd like something a little more detailed about, the boys and mom and what's been going on, because this is still a pre-adjudication case.
Right. All right. So, Mr. Delaney, how do you wish to proceed as to the pretrial that we have for today on your client?
Did we receive the report regarding Serena from Mr. Dick? I haven't received a direct communication from him with respect to the I think the competency.
Judge, what's not clear to the department is that, and part of this is in Ms. Kirchhoff's report, Serena has reported that she didn't participate in the evaluation and she was deemed competent. However, there's been a further request to have a reevaluation. I don't know the status of that, and that was an issue in this case as far as tendering a plea based upon issues of competency that were raised upon the same facts in a criminal matter, which is currently proceeding in the Otsego County Circuit Court.
Yes, it's my understanding that there was a competency examination by the Center for Forensic Psychiatry, that report came back that she was competent, that her attorney requested an independent examination, and that we have been waiting for that independent examination status to be given. I don't know the exact outcome or the exact procedural status in circuit court, as I don't have access to those records myself as a sitting district judge. So I'm kind of in the same boat that you, all the other counsel are at. We're waiting on Mr. Dick to apprise us of that. And I simply have not had any communication as to that specifically or anything beyond indicating that they're still waiting for that report. So that's the last information I have. Does anybody else have any additional or newer information than that?
I do.
No, and I appreciate that update. This is new territory for me, to have a criminal competency exam, first of all, and then to have a reevaluation of that. And I just want to be careful I don't tread on the procedural protections that Mr. Dick is trying to provide for Ms. Weber with proceeding with a civil trial. If competency is still an issue, I would need to hear from him that he believes that this case can go forward, and I haven't heard from him.
Well, and I appreciate your reluctance to move too quickly, Mr. Delaney, and I think that that is appropriate. I'm going to ask for some, at least some, I want to go through the report about the kids, make sure that while we're in the meantime here, that we're doing everything that is necessary and appropriate for the kids. But I'm going to grant your request that I believe is forthcoming to adjourn the matter until we can find it out. However, I am going to place on you the burden of speaking with Mr. Dick and of getting specific information about the status in circuit court. And if there is a report available, bringing that to my attention and then through that to the other party's attentions, if that would be appropriate. Again, I don't want to overstate or overstep my bounds in the criminal matter, but I want to be able to proceed.
A standard roll call exposes missing parents, confusion, and early red flags. Right away, you can feel this case isn't going to move cleanly or easily.
In parallel with that, if at all possible. But right now, while the issue of competency has not been fully resolved, I'm going to err on the side of caution. And so there are no unnecessarily appealable issues. So for today's purposes, ultimately, we're going to adjourn without doing a whole lot in regard to mother and moving her case forward because of the competency issues. But I do want to address and see if we're doing everything that we need to be doing as to Logan and Adrian. So, Mr. Summerfeld, is there a witness that we could take that could give me a little bit more information about those children?
Yes, Judge. The department and Wellspring are ready. I'd like to call McKaylee Kirchhoff, please.
Ms. Kirchhoff, if you raise your right hand so I can swear you in, please. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Summerfeld.
Thank you. Ms. Kirchhoff, can you state your name, please, and spell your last name?
Yes, Mikhaili Kirchhoff, Kirchhoff.
And how are you employed?
I'm a foster care supervisor with Wellspring Lutheran Services.
Okay, and we heard about a document, a court report about Adrian Stinson and Logan Weber. Are you familiar with that?
I am, yes.
And you did author that, right?
I did.
Okay. Let's talk about Adrian first. I don't really know where to start, but he's almost 18 years old.
Yes, he turns 18 in April.
Okay, and the court report describes a lot of problems about not going to school, possible criminal charges, going to live with his mother when he's not supposed to be there, and other issues. Can you talk generally about, what is your version of how he is doing right now?
So Adrian has had quite a few complications over the course of the case. I've had many conversations with him about the decisions that he continues to make and how it could be detrimental given the fact that he's going to be 18 very soon. Adrian has some unaddressed mental health concerns that he is refusing to address. I was able to get him into services through CMH. He attended about 3 sessions and then said that he didn't want to attend anymore. He has a substance use history. He's reported to me kind of sampling or experimenting with many different substances in the past. Most recently, he's noted that he only uses alcohol and marijuana. And even more recently, like mid-December, he had reported that he had stopped drinking alcohol altogether. There are concerns that he has been using cocaine. Multiple adults in Adrian's life have reported to me that they've found trays in his belongings with white residue. When I've discussed this with Adrian, he denies. He reports that he's not using cocaine, that he's not sure where that information would be coming from. Adrian also has a history with the criminal justice system, including being involved in probation prior to the opening of this case. He was unsuccessfully discharged from probation because he was not following the guidelines. In September of 2025, Adrian was involved in an incident in Grand Traverse County. He's not receiving charges for that incident because the police found that there was no criminal involvement on his end, but it attributed some more poor choices on Adrian's part. He had gotten in a vehicle with somebody he had just met who, lo and behold, had stole the vehicle and was under the influence of multiple substances. They were involved in a high-speed chase. The car had crashed 2 times prior to Adrian and the driver getting out of the vehicle and actually being apprehended by the police. As you noted, there's been concerns that he's been residing at Serena's home. That was confirmed on 2 separate occasions. One time was for about a month, and the second time was for about a week that Adrian was residing in that home. Adrian has been more than aware that he is not allowed to be in the home. He reported to me that he didn't want anybody to get in trouble, but that he wasn't sure what else to do, so that he went to his mom's home. The most recent concern with Adrian, I had received a centralized intake in early December that there was a concern he had potentially gotten another minor female pregnant. When I spoke with Adrian in the middle of December, he did report that that was accurate. He is very concerned that he will receive criminal charges because he is 17, almost 18, and the minor child, or the minor female, is only 15. So at this point, last I had heard, his girlfriend does plan to keep the child, and Adrian plans to support her in that decision.
Okay, and he's also not going to school.
Yes, correct. He, throughout the duration of this case, has not attended school. He has a Chromebook to attend. I believe it's E2020. In early December, he had reported to me that he returned the Chromebook to the school because he was having issues with it, and that he was hoping to get a new one so that he could restart classes.
All right, and how's he able to do all this stuff at his foster placement?
So he was placed with his grandmother through a majority of these concerns. Grandma, while wants to be supportive, does not necessarily supervise Adrian in the way that is likely appropriate given his history. She feels that he's close enough to being an adult that he should be able to make smart choices, though we recognize that that's not Adrian's history. More recently, he was moved to an independent living program. He's still residing in grandma's home. She did not want to be responsible for Adrian any longer. We do not have any foster homes that would be willing to take in a 17-year-old with his type of behaviors and needs. Independent living is the best program for him, in hopes that we can help him prepare for turning 18, though he does not seem very open to participating in typical independent living programs or classes. He has not participated in MYOY and does not want to participate. So there are some concerns that once he turns 18, he could find himself in some trouble just given his history.
All right, and then I'd like to talk about Logan Weber. Is he still in Arizona with his dad?
He is, yes.
And I've spoken with Mr. Lawrence. He's talked about a video walkthrough of the domicile for the minor child. And, he said that it was appropriate. Do you have similar information, or do you know of that?
Yes, I participated in the same walkthrough that Mr. Lawrence participated in. I would add that since that walkthrough, Mr. Weber has sent photos and a video, likely to myself and Mr. Lawrence, of the home, showing that Logan now has a bedroom, which was a concern that we had during the walkthrough, that he had not had a secure bedroom, but he does now. Okay,
and what about Logan's education? He's much younger than Adrian. Is that taking place, or is there some lag time in that too right now?
There is concern that Logan is not involved in school. Prior to leaving the state, Anthony had reported to myself that he had talked with the teachers at Gaylord Intermediate School and that Logan would be participating in online schooling. I had followed up with the school towards the beginning of December and received a phone call right before holiday break stating that Logan was not enrolled as a student. I did call the school today to confirm whether that meant that he was not enrolled in person or if he was not enrolled altogether. The school reported to me that they do not even offer online schooling. So that was not a conversation that was had. The school reported they were aware that Anthony and Logan were moving to Arizona. They did not report to me that they had received any sort of transfer paperwork or anything like that from any school in Arizona.
Okay, and are there, is the department,
Attention shifts to a younger child moved across state lines with loose oversight. School is missing, paperwork is incomplete, and the court starts asking hard questions.
through your agency, is it working through the interstate compact to assess the environment in Arizona?
Yes, I almost have the packet completed to send over to ICPC. I will be sending that to our counterparts over at DHS for their approval, and then it will get sent to ICPC to start the evaluation in Arizona.
Okay, and as your report indicates for both children, they are healthy and there's really no pressing issues medically for both of the kids.
Correct. Logan is behind on medical and dental appointments. Both Serena and Anthony have reported that he hasn't been seen in likely years. Anthony had reported that he would be seeking medical and dental care for Logan once they had gotten to Arizona. I've not heard an update on whether or not that's occurred.
Okay, do you have communication with Mr. Weber?
I do. It's a little bit infrequent at this time, but I do have communication with him.
Okay, and you do have an actual address for them in Arizona?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How did you know that when you did the walkthrough that you were actually at their house?
His girlfriend, he's residing with, was also present. Their belongings were in the home. There wasn't a concern that it was like an unlived in home or somebody else's home at that point. The photos that Anthony supplied to me just a few weeks ago match the, I guess you could say, like aesthetic of the home that was shown in the video. You could tell that it was the same home.
So you didn't get any proof of like, hey, here's the front door and here's the address on the house.
No, we did not.
Okay. And then is mom, has she been entertaining any voluntary services at this time?
She is involved in services through Catholic Human Services, and she participates in random substance screens with the agency. Ms. Weber has had a few hospitalizations for mental health stabilization over the course of the case so far. Currently, her Catholic Human Services counselor is targeting both substance use and mental health.
And then your report indicates that in December, Serena indicated that she was using when Aiden was still in the home.
Yes. So Adrian had reported to me that when he was residing at his mother's home, he was concerned that she was using. He felt that he was maybe experiencing symptoms of withdrawal because Miss Weber typically smokes. When I had a conversation with Miss Weber about this, she did say that she was using while he was there, but reported that it was only when he wasn't physically in the home. So he would have been at work or something like that during the time that she would use. She reported that when he was physically there, she was not using.
Okay. Mr. Brown has indicated he hasn't had successful contact with Jesse Kent. Have you?
I have not.
Okay. Is there any update to the court that, between the last time and this time, anything that you found out regarding where he is?
All I know about Mr. Kent is that he I've been told he resides in Alger, Michigan. I was contacted by the Otsego friend of the court stating that he had given DNA and that they needed a sample from Adrian so that they could confirm that the two did share DNA because Mr. Kent is not legal father.
Okay, at this time, you're asking the court to encourage voluntary participation for mom. Is that true?
Yes.
And what are you asking the court for regarding the boys?
Regarding Logan, we would ask that the court ensure Mr. Weber gets Logan involved in school and is seen by a doctor and a dentist. I know the court had told Mr. Weber in, I believe it was November when this was originally addressed, that he was not to leave the state unless it was for a vacation and that he should return to Michigan. At this point, I don't have any indication that he plans to return. He has reported that he plans to, but he has changed his phone number to that of a phone number with a Phoenix area code. I know he has asked Ms. Weber to submit a letter or a statement stating that she is okay with them staying in Arizona. So I think it just needs to be outlined by the court exactly what their determination is for Anthony and Logan's home situation. As for Adrian, he's participated in probation before. At this point, it seems like he would continue to refuse to participate in that service, considering his participation in services with foster care in general. I'm not sure it would be of benefit to try and force him at this point, but I do think he needs some additional monitoring just based on his behavior concerns.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to offer this afternoon?
No, I don't believe so.
Thank you, Judge. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Delaney, questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Ms. Hansel, questions?
Just a couple. Is it my understanding that Adrian left his grandma's care and went into independent living, but now is back with? Is that correct?
So he's under the independent living program umbrella, but residing at grandmother's home. Yes. As a stable place for him. He would like to secure his own housing, but because of being the age of 17, he needs a co-signer and does not have anybody appropriate to do that.
Okay. And as to Logan, when he resided with Mr. Weber in Michigan, Logan was under Mr. Weber's care and he was appropriately enrolled in school at that point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just been since the move to Arizona that you're having concerns about his school attendance.
Yes. The school reported that he was disenrolled on November 17th.
Okay. All right. I have no other questions. Thank you.
Ms. Kirchhoff, are there any available services for Adrian that have not been offered to him?
I don't believe so. I have brainstormed with our program manager with DHS. The only route would be pursuing something in the criminal system. At this point, I don't know that there's enough to do that without more solid evidence. Everything that we have at this point is just reported.
Admissions of substance use and mental health struggles deepen the concern. Meanwhile, absent fathers and unanswered calls leave the court with limited options.
I will continue encouraging him to attend services and to attend MYOI, but at this point it has been unsuccessful.
And I get it. 17-year-olds know everything in the world, so it's hard to get them to do what they're supposed to do sometimes. But if you would continue to offer those services, I would appreciate that. One other area that I wanted to inquire on for Adrian was, do we know which county the potential criminal sexual conduct charges would be brought in?
It's this county. It's Otsego.
All right. And have you had any contact with the prosecutor's office about the status of those potential charges?
I have not at this point. Adrian had reported to me that law enforcement did interview the girlfriend and her parents. And at that time, they had reported that they did not want to press charges.
All right. Whether the victim wishes to press charges or not isn't always the deciding factor. So I would ask that you follow up with the county prosecutor's office. And if they maybe haven't received all of the reports yet, it may be a requirement that you have to contact them a number of times. But between now and the next court date, if you could follow up on that, I would appreciate that type of knowledge as well. Then as to Logan, you indicated that you're going to complete a packet of paperwork and have it approved by our MDHHS and then send it to, I think you said ICPC, to get it down to Arizona. Would that referral include potential educational neglect, as well as safety of the home and all those related issues?
Yes. So in the ICPC referral packet, I have to submit like a letter that states what we would like ICPC to evaluate. In that letter, I have stated the safety of the home, potential supervision of the child to ensure his safety, and then additional services for the child, which would include educational, medical, and dental.
All right, good. I just want to make sure that we're touching all the bases with the educational and the medical and the dental and the safety of the home. And with that referral, I think that should be sufficient. I'm not going to take any overt action against Dad for leaving the state. One, I don't know that my arm extends that far, but even if it does, I don't know that it's necessary for the safety of the child, as long as he's doing everything that he needs to do in Arizona to provide a good home environment for the child. So I just want to make sure that that's been followed up on, and it sounds like you are doing a good job there. All right, that's all the questions that I have. Thank you very much. Mr. Sommerfeld, any additional witnesses that you need to call today?
No, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Delaney, any additional witnesses or evidence for you?
No witnesses or evidence. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Hansel, witnesses or evidence?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Sommerfeld, any closing statements that you wish to make?
Yes, Judge. I'd like to stick up for 17-year-olds. That's when I started college. So maybe the court was correct. Maybe some 17-year-olds know what they're doing. However, in this case, I'm glad we had a hearing and we were able to update the court. Actions are being taken. I do find the court's pause for mom. I'd like to get that answer too regarding competency, and we don't seem to have that yet. So I normally am not comfortable with that approach, but I think it really fits here under the circumstances. And I think the right things are taking place for both of the kids. Ms. Kirchhoff is doing a lot there. And we heard that mom is, doing some services. There are things in the report and things that she reported that are still not positive. However, she still has the chance to voluntarily participate, and it would be my hope that she does that before we get to some resolution in this case.
Why? He's already got my kid out of state.
Ms.
So why
Weber,
should I?
Ms. Weber, that's something that you need to discuss with your attorney, and I think you need to do that
Oh, if my
outside
attorney
the
ever
presence of the
called
court.
me.
Ms. Weber, you have ample opportunity to talk to him before there's a court hearing and after there's a court hearing. All right?
Yeah, and doesn't ever get a hold of me.
Mr. Brown, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Any closing statement that you wish to make, Mr. Brown, about today's hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Delaney, any closing statement about today's hearing?
Just briefly, certainly the competency remains an issue, and until I resolve that, I'm not able to advocate for my client. This other matter is a custody matter more than it is an abuse neglect matter, and so whether my services extend to that, I can certainly communicate with my client, but I must resolve the competency issue with her first before I can go further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hansel, any further comments from you?
No, I would support the current recommendations, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. All right, as to the pretrial hearing involving Ms. Weber, we will adjourn. I'm going to set a 30-day hearing for that. I'm going to direct Mr. Delaney to contact Mr. Dick, the criminal attorney, to find out the status of the circuit court competency information. I'm going to have court staff check with the court staff as well, but we don't always know what the attorneys are doing necessarily. So I'm going to let the two attorneys contact each other and have Mr. Delaney report at the next court hearing as to that. In the meantime, I am going to follow the recommendations as to the children. Logan and Adrian will remain under the care and supervision of the court and DHHS and Wellspring. I'm going to ask Wellspring to follow up and DHHS to follow up on Logan in Arizona with the ICPIC and the documentation going out there to make sure that the home in Arizona is appropriate and that there is educational, medical, and dental services being provided as well. I'm going to recommend that Ms. Weber voluntarily comply with and demonstrate benefit from offered case services and that she discuss with her client, with her attorney, why that would be of some benefit to her in the long term in this neglect and abuse case, and that I'm going to order the parenting time remains supervised by the Department of Health and Human Services and or through Wellspring for any parenting time of Ms. Weber and or the dads. So, and that will be the order of the case, order of the court, and we'll see you all in about 30 days at the next pretrial hearing. Thank you all very much.
The judge draws firm lines, orders oversight, and brings the chaos under control. Tension breaks through the courtroom as final rulings shape what happens next. If this breakdown helped you understand the case, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.